Hello everyone, I am minoxen, and this is a high-definition commentary of Battleforge. This is going to be of the 11th Community Challenge, brought to us by Sparrow and Dragon of Time. Sparrow contacted me and let me know that this video was out, and it is quite impressive. It includes no flying units, no Era 3 or third orb units, color followed by your second orb, your second orb has to be the same as your first, so in this case he's going to be going Frost. Starting out by ordering in a couple of Master Archers here, he's going to take this down and then move to this tower. What other rules do they have? You can't lose any powerwells, except by depletion, you can't lose any orbs, and you cannot cycle any orbs in order to change out powers to get different ones. And I have to admit that this map in particular was one of the most difficult for me to have to do. Whenever I played Battleforge pretty regularly. I'm going to speed up the replay now to go ahead and try and move this along here. It's only 27 minutes long, which is really impressive for this map. Some brilliant use of units here. Knowing exactly what to do, what to keep alive is also very key here, since he does that on several occasions. Now he has set up his Imperials in their defensive stance, and is going to continue to use his Master Archers to take down this tower. And now carefully, oh so carefully, he's going to come up here, get this power well, and manage to pull, after setting his Master Archers here to heal, he's going to pull this Twilight Disciple. The Twilight Disciple is going to follow the Frost Sorceress back to the Imperials, who have a medium bonus. Won't help them out in this fight. But, oh yeah, it will, actually. I was looking at one of the others that had a large life. So they do have a good attack bonus for this, in addition to their stance, giving them an extra 50 defense. Now he moves quickly to finish off this, and timing is very important on this. Of course, since you do have those Twilight Disciples moving around the map, and if you do not happen to catch them in time, they are going to be transformed into Twilight Hulks and are going to destroy you. All the while, he has been running around here with these three Master Archers, the Frost Sorceress and the Imperials. He has summoned in a few more Master Archers. He now has 6 total. He is going to use those to move down here on occasion. I think he sends 4 of them down there on occasion. However, he's going to use a Frost Glyph here and a Home Soil to give him a nice defensive bonus and offensive bonus. Well, not so much defensive for the Home Soil, but the Glyph was defensive, as it does go ahead and freeze that Twilight Horror, which would paralyze his units if he allowed it to. And he's going to run down here and prepare for that Twilight Disciple to be running along through there, so he can pick him off. And likewise, he's going to be setting up his Imperial and his Frost Sorceress once more, and she's going to be going for another grab. Going to grab this Twilight Disciple. Meanwhile, the other one is moving down along here, and he's going to masterfully micro, using Frostbite of the Shadow affinity to make sure that it does a little bit of extra damage. I believe it's 25 or 50%. No, it moves 25% slower. I think it's 50% damage bonus. We're going to see it plenty this game, so we will get to see exactly what its stats are. I can't recall. It's been a while. But Frostbite is the card that he uses for that purpose. And then now he is going to go ahead and bring in a Warden Sigil, the green nature affinity, that will allow the shield to regenerate naturally over time. He's going to be using a, gosh, I can't remember, Ice Barrier. I wanted to call it Glacier Barrier. Ice Barrier to aid in the defense there. He's going to pick off this Twilight Horror. Careful to leave the little Twilight Claws behind. He didn't quite get his attack off the way he wanted to, so he's going to have to loop around here and get this. There we go. He brings in the Ice Barrier. That's going to keep these little Twilight Claws busy, and this is a very key moment here. Once you have gotten rid of that Twilight Horror, he will not respawn so long as the Twilight Claws are alive. So you have to be very careful in setting that up. Also, meanwhile, keeping track of the Twilight Disciples as they walk around at the bottom of the map, making sure to micro your Master Archers to get the job done on that. And now that he has this regenerating, they can permanently bash on this Ice Bear. He used a Glyph of Frost here to go ahead and stop this Twilight Disciple. Now he's going to use the Master Archers to finish the job. But as I was saying, that Warden Sigil with the regeneration is just enough to be able to stop them from doing any damage. And here we go. Here's the Frostbite. It takes 25% more damage, and it slows their movement speed. They're only able to walk. So that is a very nice card to have used here, as it does give those Master Archers a nice boost. And another nice card that we're about to see here is called Glaciation. This was a new card whenever I last played, but it does give a very nice boost to the people that are on the walls. The walls themselves take 90% less damage, and the units take and deal 50% more damage. So that is a very nice ability there for them. They can do so much more damage, makes it all the easier. Sorry, that's going to distract me. But again, using all of the cards to his advantage, he only has one orb currently, and is doing a masterful job of keeping his micro up. Also keeping a defensive force here for whenever the Twilight Horror happens to come through. He can take that down as he prepares himself here for his push forward. He's going to run up here and take down this tower and basically kind of try and occupy the little Twilight Claws in a very similar fashion as to what he had done right here. He's going to do the same thing, and it'll keep that camp from becoming... each time you destroy one of these spawners here that I have, the Twilight Infestation in this case, when you destroy that, it causes it to become more difficult on the map. They spawn stronger units, more units, so it's just advantageous if you can to avoid killing that. And that's exactly what he does here, as he's going to go ahead and take this Twilight Disciple down. I think he has a little bit of mismicromanagement here, because he was distracted down here, but he is going to be able to go ahead and finish that off. He's going to go ahead and use his Master Archers to finish this tower as well. That's going to leave him pretty weakened, so the next time that they spawn units here, I believe he's going to lose the majority of them. He does destroy this wall, and this fortification is built up. He's going to run some guys up onto it for permanent defense. Warden Sigil doing its job, keeping that alive and well. The Master Archers here are going to be just a little bit outmatched. He's getting his second orb, so he's a little power starved. Does bring in a second Master Archer. He does not want to kill. You do not want to kill these Twilight Claws. You want to get rid of this Twilight Healer, because for the same reason that the Horror does not spawn to join this little group, they do not join this group either. So now it will just be the Twilight Claws there, and that shield will be forever immortal in this case. Oh, and the Frostbite had to go ahead and use a second Frostbite there. Was not able to micro it as easily as he'd hoped. But now that he has this here, he's going to be able to pull off something really nice. Does have a second orb, so that means he can get these cannon towers built up. That's going to help him out on the defense. But the really funny thing is, he summons in these White Rangers and is using their special ability, thanks to this little ice barrier, to take down the mighty Twilight Dragon. So he is he's softening up this camp just amazingly. It's a really brilliant move to go ahead and do that. I'd never seen it done before. I've seen it done something with, like, I believe Razorleaf could reach it at one point. I don't know if he still can, but given that he only has 2 orbs right now, I am very impressed. He is using buffs on these people. Does use Home Soil on his White Rangers, and they do go ahead and finish up the Twilight Dragon. Their job is done. They're going to move over here and continue on their reign of terror. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of all of the action here. And another thing that we take for granted is that he is microing those little guys down there to do their job. And also, he does use a Glyph Frost there, or yeah, Glyph of Frost to keep these Twilight Claws sitting where they are. So that way they'll just go back to their business and keep beating on this barrier. No reason to make them want to spawn anymore. So now with his force of 4 defenders and 4 White Rangers, he's going to march his way around and see about taking out this camp up here, which has another orb in it. And he's going to do that with a combination of Home Soil, Glyph of Frost, and he was very careful to use that before the Twilight Negator came in range. That is also something to keep track of. Meanwhile, those guys are plenty well occupied. He's going to take this moment to heal up just a little bit. Go ahead and run these guys forward for a pull. Throws out his Glyph of Frost, gets a hold of this Twilight Abomination's attention, and chill. As he does go ahead and get the Frostbite off there as well, which is going to make him take 25% more damage, in addition to the, I believe it's 55% bonus damage that they get from Home Soil. And now he's just going to march his happy little hiney in here and take out this Twilight Manifestation and grab himself a monument. Quite easy as that. And now with this, he is not going to be able to build any or create any third-tier units, as it is part of the rules for this particular challenge. But he is going to be able to, once he gets his 4th orb, he will be able to use things there. But with this, he is going to create a tunnel, and that's going to allow him to get back here to the middle. And he did use some Surge of Lights for healing, and has used a tunnel, but he is not creating a third-tier unit, he's just utilizing his nature orb. So he's not breaking any of the rules, as the Twilight Disciple going to be going down very quickly here, as he's positioning himself to go ahead and move down and take the final and 4th orb. He's going to wait for this patrol to move on by so he can take on this group, using an Entangling Roots. Going to be going ahead and getting the Twilight Horror taken down first, and then Focus Fire down the Twilight Devastator to follow next. And continue on, and you'll see that he's placing a lot of ice barriers here. That is to provide a little bit of fodder and to give plenty of extra area for his archers to get their home soil bonus. You'll see that this Twilight Death Glider is in here, and it's wanting to kill these nice tasty little archers, but it gets a little distracted on the buildings. He leaves behind one group of defenders in their defense mode to try and hold off the enemy horde as long as possible. And he's going to clean this out, leaving, of course, the Twilight Infestation itself, and masterfully managing to leave it in the similar state that he has elsewhere on the map. And now that he has the orbs, he will probably go ahead and sack. There he goes. He goes in and sacks those White Rangers and builds up his 4th orb. With the 4th orb, he's going to be going for a Gem-Eye. I believe he goes for the Shadow Affinity of the Gem-Eye as well. I'll have to double-check here. But as you can see, he's still doing fine in all of his other situations. Those little Twilight Claws are still beating away at that ice barrier. Since it's got a regenerating shield, it's going to be just fine. He does have the Shadow Affinity, Gem-Eye, and he's going to use this in combination with an Unholy Hero, I believe is the name of the card. Let's double check real quick. Unholy Hero, yes. Unholy Hero and Regrowth and some things, and he's just going to run this guy in here and go straight for the spawner. And if he can manage to take this out before the Twilight Dragon takes him down, that is going to give him an excellent start here, as one more shot should do it. There it is, takes it down, goes ahead and lets his unit go down. So now he's taking care of that business. All he has to do is manage to take down the spawners up here in this location, and you'll note that he has not accomplished his tasks for A and B there. And that is because, as I stated earlier, he's wanting to avoid a much more difficult challenge by actually having those spawn the additional horrors and sunderers that they would. But with this, he's going to go ahead and buff up his Gem-Eye here, drawing forth the dragon. And he's going to take it down in just a little bit. It's amazing how powerful this Gem-Eye is. And once he has this Twilight Dragon out of the way, he's going to be just sitting pretty. So he goes ahead and takes him down, using some regrowth, Surge of Light, trying to keep this guy alive as best as possible. He's going to go ahead and take down the Twilight Abomination. He's taking out the spawner first, because he's not killing quite quickly enough. But with all the heals that he does have here, and I guess if you're going to try and reproduce this, I would say to make sure you have all the charges on your cards, since it probably would be pretty beneficial for you to have all of those charges. Because if you have the charges, then you're going to be able to spam the spells like he has to in some of these cases. But on that note, with this last building going down, he is going to go ahead and finish up that section of the challenge. And now he goes ahead and takes out these spawners, and that, my friends, will win him the game. So, excellent play here from Coldmind. If you guys are interested in the cards that he used, I will include that in the description below. Thank you so much for Sparrow and Dragon of Time for providing this community challenge. Oh, I forgot some of the restrictions as well. He also did this with no Mark of the Keeper, no Nightguard, no Lightblade, no Worldbreaker Gun, Comet Catcher, or Altar of Chaos. Very impressive indeed. I am going to include the list of Coldmind's deck there. I will also include all of the restrictions that were on this map. Thank you, Sparrow, for this wonderful replay, and thank you, Coldmind, for accepting and completing this challenge in a very fashionable way. Thank you all. I'll catch you next time.